Hi, listen, are you one of those people that keeps doing something similar over and over and over again, and you realize that it's not working and you refuse to change? It's resistance to change. They say that it's silly or that it's insane when a person keeps doing the same thing over and over and over again and getting the same results. But what I want to throw at you is something a little bit different. Happy Thanksgiving week, also. I'm feeling very patriotic and very Thanksgiving-y. So, any rate, I just decided to share that with you. But here's one of the things that happens to us: we are resistant to change, and you may have a picture or a vision of something that will work. Okay, it's just like me doing this YouTube channel, or it's just like me realizing that when I was doing real estate, that I had to keep going and keep going and keep going. And one of my coaches, Myron, says that I think he was 18 months before he had his first sale, all the different no's and things that you have to go through. But here's one of the things that keeps people doing the same things. They keep doing it the very same way. I'm not going to keep doing I am not going to keep doing this program the very same way. I'm going to make changes. They may be subtle changes. They may be drastic changes. But one of the things that you must do is be willing to change. If you're not willing to change, then you will never get into the profession. You will never operate as a professional. Another thing is people keep doing things the same way because they look and they say, if I change, what if it would have worked? What if this would have happened? That is not the tool that you want in your toolbox. What you do want is to realize that when you finish something, you look at it and you start to go over it and find out what worked and what didn't. I think that what happens with many people, and it may be happening with you, only you know this, is that you refuse to look at your mistakes and then decide that, wait a minute, I'm going to do something different, or that I might need more help, or that I might need more influence, or that someone needs to speak into my life and tell me truth. In our society, people do not want to hear the truth. They want you to pet them. They want you to BS them. They want you to play with it. They want you to do all of those things, everything but saying the truth. I know people in relationships. I know people in different situations in their life that they needed to get out of them a long time ago, but they didn't because they look at it. It has become a habit. A habit will destroy you. A habit can kill you. Look at the drug addict. Look at the alcoholic. Look at the sex addict. Look at these different people. They keep doing it and they keep being miserable. And don't say that it's just the down and outers. There are wealthy people that are in these same things. Look at all the sex trafficking. Look at all of those different things that are going on. It's because people refuse to change and find out what is causing this disorder in my life. The difference between a professional and an amateur is that a professional continues to find out what they're doing wrong, what they need to change, and how they need to change it. It's really simple. It's easy to change a habit. It's easier than you think. We have all been told by psychiatrists, psychologists, by pseudo therapists, and all of these. And, I'm in this field. I'm a therapist, not licensed by the state of California, but I am a PhD in psychology. And I know what it was that I was taught. But one of the things is that I found out I had a lot of habits in my life, a lot of habits in my life. And I realized that when I decided, when I cut off every option to do this thing, something miraculous happened. It was a miracle, a miracle. What happened is this, is that I changed. The habit doesn't change, but when you change, when you move yourself out of the position, out of the rut, out of the way of doing those things, then what happens is you break you break the stride. And once you break the stride, you have to make a new stride. And when you make that new stride and make it in a different direction, it doesn't matter how much it is that you change in the beginning, but you start to go on that new road. And when you do, it your brain and your mind and your excitement and your beliefs start to change. You realize this habit doesn't have me, but now I have control of the habit. I had a habit that was chocolate. I mean, I was addicted to chocolate. Well, I've been addicted to a whole lot of things, but in this one, this was a clean one. Well, maybe not too clean, but any rate, I was addicted to chocolate. And then there was a day that I decided I am not going to let chocolate have control over my life. It was the same thing with, alcohol and drugs and all of those things. It was very different because when I came into the relationship with Jesus Christ, what happened is he cleaned me up immediately. I mean, of those things. So I didn't have to go through that, but I did have to go through it with sugar. I did have to go through it with chocolate. I still eat sugar, but I'm not addicted to it. Or please hear what I'm saying. This works in any area of your life. It starts here. It starts with an idea. It starts with the idea, I can beat this. This doesn't have me. It starts with implementation of that. I refuse to do this today. And it's not willpower. Willpower won't get it. Willpower will just be a thing that will help you to do something for a certain length of time, and then you go back to it. This is the reason that alcoholics go back, drug people go back. This is the reason that I would have gone back to chocolate unless I had this idea and I exchanged it. I exchanged the idea that I needed the chocolate for the idea that I didn't need the chocolate. Now, just that simple thing, just that simple adjustment makes a difference in your life. When I made up my mind that when I decided about sleep, I've taught many people. I've taught thousands of people this. I used to work in a drug program. I used to work as a dietitian counselor, and then I worked as a therapist, a drug therapist, and alcoholics, and all of these different things, sex addicts. This is the reason that I talk about these things. But I've worked with these different people. I've worked with people that were what we call workaholics, and different things, and their marriages and their relationships were going down the tube. I've even worked with lazy people that once they decided that they were not going to be lazy anymore, that what happened to them was a difference. They made a decision. They realized that they were the one that was in control of their own thoughts, their own mind, their own brain. And when you realize that, then something happens. It gets to be exciting because it's not that I am being controlled anymore. I am the controller. So as we wind this thing up, as we look at it, what I want you to realize is make a decision. That's number one. I decide that I cut off every opportunity, every road that would lead me to go back there. I cut it off. I forget. And then what happens once you decide that is this: I'm going to replace that with something else. Another reason that people continue with habits, they don't know what to replace it with. I replaced mine with reading. I replaced it with exercise. I replaced it with golf. I replaced it with doing something different. Mine was, I'm a temperament that I need to do. I need to go ahead and I need to act it out. Many temperaments don't. Many temperaments can get it into their head, and then they can actually picture it. They can visualize it. And what they visualize, they can go ahead and follow it. All it's doing is mapping. They're mapping their thoughts, mapping their brain, mapping their road, and they're able to follow it. So, and some people need help, like the supine and the sanguine. They need help. Those are people that need help with being able to break it. So what you do is that you find a person that is willing to work with you. You got a partner. You have not an accountability partner, a do it with me partner, or one that a friend partner, one that you can tell things, one that you can go ahead and don't make the excuses for failing. Once you decide this, once you cut off in your mind, and this is the key, when you cut it off, and it comes by thinking, it comes by an attitude, it comes by an idea. When that idea hits, I do not have to be broke anymore. I do not have to have this habit of being a spender. I do not have to have this habitual habit of drinking, of doing this. That is the first step to your life being what it is, to your taking back control of your life. Be persistent, be resistant to the negative parts of it, that and only you are the one that knows what's negative and what's not. And following these few little steps, and I'm going to give more on some of my other videos, following these few little steps, I guarantee you that you can change it. You don't even have to overeat this Thanksgiving weekend. This Thanksgiving weekend, you can actually eat as little as you want or as much as you want, but it's all in your head. It's all in your brain. It's all within your power, because God has given you the power to control your life. And it's not by I just have to white knuckle it, black knuckle it, brown knuckle it. I don't have to do all of that. What I can do is decide, and you're the only one that's a decision maker in your life. Remember to, if you like this program, like it, share it, send it out to others, and tell people about us. Remember to push the bell for notification, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.